Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Life and Living It, the show where we explore the ups and downs of life and find ways to navigate through it all. I'm your host, Michael Esson, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. In our previous episode, we talked about what makes life worth living, our families, friends, and colleagues. I hope you took some time to reflect on those relationships and appreciate the people who add value in your life. Today, we are shifting gears to discuss the harder side of life. As much as these three pillars, family, friends, and colleagues, can bring joy, they can also be the source of pain, stress, frustration, and disappointment. What do we do when life feels so difficult to live? In this episode, we dive into some of these challenges. We talk about the conflict, misunderstanding, and expectation that can wear us down. And the good side, we explore ways to overcome them. Well, after the drop of the first episode, we have got a lot of reviews. Today, I'm just going to read like 5 of them, and without the names of those people who sent these DMs. I got them in my Facebook, my Instagram, and then some even on my personal inbox. Well, when I started reading some of these reviews, I was really touched, and I know reading them to you would also make some difference. Well, the first review I got is, "This episode touched my heart. Michael. Michael's perspective on the importance of family and friends reminded me to cherish the people in my life. The words are inspiring and relatable. Looking forward for more episodes." Thank you. Yeah, that is exactly what we're trying to do. The second review says, "Life and living it is exactly what I needed. Your calm and thoughtful approach to discuss why life is worth living gave me a fresh overlook on the relationships in my life. It's a show that encourages positivity and reflection." Yeah, that's true. Well, review number 3. Michael Esson has been making a complex ideas feeling simple and meaningful. Okay. Episode 1 felt like a warm hug for the soul. His focus on family, friends, and colleagues hit close to home for me. Okay, that's nice. Highly recommended this series. Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate that too. I appreciate how honest and heartfelt the first episode was. Your ability to connect with the audience through the real life story and value is refreshing. Thank you. A wonderful reminder to appreciate the little things that makes life beautiful. Well, I said 5. This is the 5th one. I got a lot. Maybe if time allows us, I'm gonna read more. What a powerful start of the series. Michael's insight about life being worth living because of the people we love were deeply moving. This episode made me want to reach out to my family just to say thank you. Oh my goodness. Well, one thing that we should know, you should also know, is when I was putting together the first episode, actually, I was also moved. It was a long due research that I made, and putting it to work personally, and during the recording of the show, well, I I had good goosebumps on me, and then I felt so emotional because there were some people in my life who made, or who has really made life worth living for me, that I overlooked. And I after recording the first episode, I had to reach out, even though it was one difficult thing for me to do. And so I really side with you. Well, I'm going to read the last review, and it says I'm just reading what the person wrote. Michael Esson is a natural storyteller. Episode 1 of The Life and Living It was uplifting and thought-provoking. It's a show that makes you think about the things that truly matter in life. I can't wait for the next one. Well, this is the next one. To let you know, we appreciate you when you send us all these reviews, and we are so happy to have them. Trust me, we are going to read most of these, or I'm going to read most of these reviews. I try my best to do it within the stipulated time. My producers are always on my neck with the timing sometimes. Well, we appreciate it when you send us the reviews. We are also going to introduce the new hotline for the Life and Living It show. So on this, when you go to WhatsApp, you can find, we will drop you a WhatsApp number, and then you can send us a direct message from there. You can tell us what you think about the episode, what you want us to discuss in the next upcoming episodes. And also, you can buy some of our merchandise. You can buy our ebooks. You can also buy mugs with our inscription on it. You can buy some t-shirts with a Life and Living It inscription on it. And you can also get a link to our main sponsor, Just Make Creations. Well, let me just take this opportunity to talk about Just Make Creation. Just Make Creation is a website, or it's a company that deals with production of t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, plates. Think of anything you want to print. Just think of anything you want to print. If it's something you want to produce, if you have an idea, if you just want to bring out your creative skills or artistic skills to life, the first place you have to go is Just Make Creations. Look, one thing that's set them aside, or makes them different from other printing or production houses is, most of these production houses, when you go, you want to print something, they tell you, yeah, we deal with a minimum of 10. Why would you need 10 t-shirts for yourself at a go with the same inscription in it? It's yeah, when you put it into perspective, it's really not nice. Just Make Creation says, call, just send them a message or call them, and they are going to give you the minimum of 1 or 2 regardless. So they don't deal with minimums. Just call them or send them your creative idea. They put your idea and then they bring it to life for you. It can be a photo, a family family joke, or something you want to have with you on a printed article. They can just do it. You can visit them. I'll give you a link where you can go to their website, and then you can also have their number. Send them an app and then you can find them to bring your creative ideas into life. That is Just Make Creations, and they are the main sponsors of this particular podcast. They are helping us a lot with everything that is involved. So if you want to bring your creative ideas into life, just go to Just Make Creations. Well, without wasting much time, let's get started with the show. Welcome back. Let's start with family. As we discussed in the last episode, family is often our foundation. But let's be real, family relationship can be some of the most complicated ones to have. For example, think about the family expectations. Some parents want some specific career path for their children. And sometimes it's not only from the parents, it's also from the whole family generation. There was this incident. Listen, it's anytime I start to talk about the family expectation, it gives me chills, because I've had first-hand example or first-hand experience with this particular issue. Listen, there is a family where the whole family is like a whole medical team. In the family are doctors, nurses, pharmacists, just name it. The list just goes on and on and on and on in one family. Born into such a family, there is this thing with a family legacy. And yeah, to me, I don't see the reality in it, because we have individual differences, but being born into this family, you are expected to just go direct to the pathway of the family. So either you become a doctor, a pharmacist, or a nurse. And it's sometimes absurd and heartbreaking when you decide to choose a different career path and you break everybody's heart. Unfortunately, this has been one of the biggest issues, because when children comes out, or individuals from such families comes out to choose a different career path, they are seen as deviants. They are seen as a deviation of the family legacy, and it becomes so difficult. And that is one of the complications when you talk about family. I have had the experience myself. I remember it was one evening when I broke the news to my parents that I want to become a carpenter. Immediately, it was dinner time, and you could just read the disappointment on my dad's face. Like, why? After spending so much for you, the time I spend with you to help you steady, you come back to tell me you want to become a carpenter? Like, Michael, why? What's really wrong with you? He was really out of words. His silence alone said a lot. You could see also from my mom's face how disappointed she was. This is just one. I remember a friend of mine told me from her infancy, he always heard his mom saying she wants to become a lawyer. She always wanted to become a lawyer. Unfortunately, she couldn't. So she started investing in him to become a lawyer. Surprisingly, when he broke the news to his mom, he wants to become an artist. Oh my God. From that time, he broke the news until the mom left us. They never spoke. The mom missed his wedding. He missed seeing his first child, his second child, and fortunately, on her dying bed, that is when she accepted what her son wanted to be. And trust me, I know most of you are bringing into thought, or I'm kicking up old memories about what happened in individual homes or in our has happened in our lives with the career choice or career path of individuals when it comes to dealing with the family, and that is something you can't avoid. That is one. Secondly is the issue with inheritance, and it's also one thing that's look, I know someone who didn't speak to their siblings for nearly almost a decade, because of the disagreement over the inheritance of their parents. And surprisingly, it was during a family emergency which brought them together to realize that they had wasted so much time fighting over things that were even unnecessary. Aside that, the issue of parents deciding to part ways also becomes a very big problem in the family. Some of us who come from the ethical background can relate to this. Most marriages do not succeed, and at the end, spouses choose to go their separate ways, and at the end find different partners and live with. Mostly the families are not so happy, or most families are not so happy when it comes to this particular or such situation, and the result is something else, because most of the families it ends up in not speaking to each other for years because of the issue of choosing a spouse. I remember a friend of mine wanted to marry from a specific, or saw someone and then decided to just go out with. However, his family accepted the relationship, but on the side of the lady, her family rejected because this guy is coming from a specific tribe or a specific lineage where they think shows disrespect to theirs, and because of that there was a conflict, and it went on and on and on and on and on, and as at now, there is a big fallout. How do we resolve this? Listen, these issues or such issues with family can lead to a big amount of stress, a big amount of frustration, a big amount of disappointment, and it's something we can avoid, or every individual can avoid. What can we do when the family relationship becomes a source of stress and frustration? I promised we are going to find common grounds and find solutions. Well, first is communication. They say communication is a key. Be willing to have an uncomfortable but honest conversation. That is one. The conversation is uncomfortable, but when we honestly speak out, we will be able to resolve, and the stress that we get out, or the stress that comes out of this family conflict and family misunderstandings, can be resolved. Second, set boundaries. Just because someone is in your family doesn't mean they have to they have unlimited access to the energy and the time you have. Dealing with family is quite a lot. It's breathtaking. Yeah. And when we set boundaries with family, we will be able to have honest time. Look, sometimes it's not only about what we spend, what we give out, and so forth. Look, it's mostly also how far we are willing, or how much we are willing to give or put in. So sometimes we set boundaries, set limitations. The fact that we are family doesn't mean you can have unlimited access to everything. No. We let our yes be our yes, our no be our no, and then when it stops, we just punch on it and we stop. Well, the big question is there a family relationship, or is there a family relationship in your life that needs healing? If there is, what small step can you take today to improve it? Think about it. Just take your time. The Life and Living This show will just be right back. Now let's talk about friends. Friendship can be a sanctuary, but they can also become source of disappointment. Well, I'm going to put break this down into like three categories. Friendship are often called family we choose, but as wonderful as they can, they are not immune to challenges. No. Whether it's misunderstanding, betrayal, or a mismatched expectations, friendship can sometimes become a source of struggle and even heartbreak. Let's take a closer look at some of these common problems with friends or friendship and explore some practical solutions with them. And the first one I'm going to talk about is the mismatched expectations, because I have also felt the same way with some of my friends. It's a common issue with friendship is the mismatched expectations. This happens when someone or one person in a friendship group expect more from friends than the other are willing to give. Take this example. You might have a friend who really checks in and makes time to meet up. You start feeling like you are not, or you are the one carrying the friendship. Meanwhile, your friend might not realize that you are feeling this way. Well, these are some of the issues, or this is why this happens. Listen, people have different communication skills. If the moment we realize that there are different communication skills with people, and when we communicate differently, it becomes a problem in a friendship group. Another thing is life stages. One friend might be overwhelmed with work, family, and even commitment, and this can be a problem. Also, sometimes there's lack of clarity about what each person expects from the friendship group, and that is also one issue. But yes, here in life, or here with life and living it, we point out the problems and then we give out possible solutions. So having a different communication style, being or a friend being overwhelmed with work and family, or commitment, and then lack of clarity about the friendship is a problem. But how best can we solve this problem? First, communicate clearly. Have honest conversation about what you are feeling. For example, you could say, I've noticed that I am the one initiating most of our meetups. Is everything okay? This opens the door for understanding without being confrontational. Manage your expectations. Recognize that not even or every friendship will look the same. You saw someone's or another friendship group and you saw how they roll, how they meet up, how they do their things. But remember that you guys are not the same. Some friends might be able to connect occasionally, and if it happens in your way or in your condition, accept it. Find a balance. Sometimes we are one-sided and it's difficult to decide, but it is worth to continue as the same intensity when the friendship started. Friendship do not have to end completely. Sometimes there's a need to shift the gears, from to be more on a casual level. And if that happens, accept it. Find a balance in everything. Well, the question or the reflective question is there a friend in your life where the expectations feel mismatched? How can you address this constructively? We are doing something we've never tried, but everything is possible. After recording this particular episode, we realized, just as we promised a short episode, this episode is way too long as we discussed most of the issues. And to save you time, also to respect the time you have given us, we want to split this particular episode into two. So I'm gonna do a conclusion for what I have here, to friends, difficulties we have with friends as one episode, and then difficulties with work colleagues as also another episode. So I'm concluding, but not yet done. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking time to listen to us. And I know for sure you are going to take into consideration everything we've discussed here about family and friends. And I know you're going to find a balance between how you feel, what the family is expecting from you, what your friends are expecting from you, and how to deal with betrayal, disappointment, and everything that's muchly involved in dealing with friends, and what makes it difficult to be among friends, and especially with family. Until we meet again, all I can say is the ups and downs in life make life worth living. You don't really see it when you always have a smooth ride. But to build our resilience, the downside in life help us to build our resilience and makes us strong to face everything that is ahead of us. So yes, the downside of life is annoying, it's frustrating, but they help us to shape us to become who, or to become the better version of ourselves. So until we meet again, all I can say is stay safe out there. Just stay alive, because life is always worth living.